Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Optimistically Depressed, and I am your host, Ruth McMullen. Thanks for joining me yet again. This has been an exciting week. Just because I'm feeling revitalized by the whole New Year thing, even though I'm exhausted, I have some plans for what I hope to accomplish this year, and I've been trying to kind of gain a different perspective on how I view moving forward and continuing to improve myself. And I want to just, continue to view the world in a healthier and healthier way and give myself enough of a push, but enough of a break. You know, the never-ending balancing act of being a human. So I'm going to just cut right to things today. I am very excited to introduce all of you to Lindsay. She's actually a co-host of the podcast Momgasm, which is a hilarious podcast, and also a very informative one. It's something that helps, women especially feel more comfortable with talking about things, especially mothers, talk about sexual stuff and enjoying themselves in that way, even after you become a mom. And there's that whole stigma around being a mom makes you unsexy. So they're doing really great work in breaking that stigma, and they're hilarious and outrageous. If you haven't listened to it, you really got to check it out. Be prepared to have some awkward things brought up. I think that's really important. We've got to talk about those awkward things because, they're awkward because we have all of this like weight placed on it, and if we talk about it more, then it's going to become less awkward. It's going to lose its power over us. So I think that's really important, and of course that's why I do Optimistically Depressed. So anyway, they're some fellow podcasters. Lindsay has an incredible story, and she's so funny and really easy to talk to. She's just one of those people that you can sit down with her and you have a very natural conversation. You feel very comfortable and very open and kind of ready to talk about anything. And that's definitely how she is. And I really enjoyed my time with her. I really enjoyed talking with her, and I'm hoping to have her back. So I'm just going to, cut right to it. All of you enjoy this, and thank you again. I just want to thank you again so much for listening to my podcast. I really appreciate it. And if you're hoping to help me out in any way, one really great way that you can do that is either by reviewing my podcast online. You can do that like on Google or iTunes or my webpage, and which is optimisticallydepressed.com. You can also subscribe to my podcast or tell a friend. If you know anyone that you think would really be interested in this, or this could maybe help out, then which I think that could be anyone. But let them know. I really appreciate it. But yes, thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I love all of you, and welcome to the conversation. Awesome.
I'm glad I could give that to you.
You did. You gave that to me. That was really nice.
Oh my God.
We're here. It's snowing out.
It is. Fuck. Remember how I was like, I don't have to curse. I can not do that. And I'm like, oh God, we're like 30 seconds in and I'm already dropping the F-bomb. Jesus.
Yeah, just getting insane.
Jesus.
That's cool. That's fine.
I'm not here for snow. I'm one of those people that if and when the time is right, I will have a life that I can leave when the snow starts.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, wow. And Mark's nodding his head as if he agrees.
See, I feel like we're on the same page there, Mark. We're just like, oh.
I love it when Mark mimes. Miming Mark.
Like, no, we're not recording my show right now.
I'm going to take away his miming rights pretty soon.
God.
I like the snow.
Really?
Yeah, usually.
Usually?
Yeah, usually I like it.
When do you not like it?
I don't like it when I get stuck in it.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, yeah, that has happened a couple times. I had the kids in the car. They were young, and that was just really stressful. And I was like, you know what? I'm not digging this. But once I got home It was like, oh yeah, I love this. I love just sitting. I'm not one to really be crazy about going out and playing in it. I like to sit inside, drink something hot, and watch the snow.
So you like the mood that the snow
love the mood
provides.
Yeah, and everything's so bright and crisp, and it's like, it's quiet.
Yeah.
I really like that. And I used to be into like outdoor stuff. I used to do a lot of cross-country skiing and snowmobiling.
Fun.
GTing.
Man, you're badass.
Yeah, we used to... Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. We used to tie a GT up behind the snowmobile.
Oh my goodness.
We call it skidooing because we were from Magnetawan, so we didn't realize that was the brand. You just went skidooing, and we would tie a GT to the back of it, and then just like I was always the one on the GT. Amazingly, no. I once did a 360 flip, roll, and survived. I remember landing and being like, I felt the ground on my head. I survived.
I love the moments like those kind of, I mean, they're not really near-death experiences, but as a kid, you kind of feel like they're near-death experiences.
Yeah.
Where it's like the impact happens and you have that moment of shock of like, am I still here? Yes. Am I alive? Can I move things? Oh, we're good.
Oh, we're good. That was a close one. Hey, yeah. Let's do it again.
100%.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I don't do that so much anymore. I've become more aware of my own mortality.
That's fair. I feel like that just comes with age.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it didn't.
I know, because there's still so many fun things to do.
There is.
But you have to believe that you won't die in order to do them or not care.
I feel like in order to do them successfully, that is like a very important thing.
Yeah.
You're like, if I believe I won't die, I'm good.
Yeah.
The moment I think I might, game over.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to die. I used to do like, just like small scale, like cliff jumping, into like water and like jump off of bridges and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then I had Zoe. And then I was like, no, I might die. Like, I'm not doing that. She needs me. So that was pretty much where all that stopped.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yes.
I definitely feel that I think about my own mortality a lot more often now that I've had kids.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's like, for me, my mortality has been something that's been like an overshadow for my entire life. Like it was the whole, you were supposed to die when you were this age and this age and this age. And I'm like, oh, and I used to live in fear of that. And then eventually I got to a point where I was like, well, whatever, it's fine. It's going to happen at some point to anyone and everybody. And then I had kids and now I'm like, I'll find myself just thinking about it where I'm like, what's that going to be like for them?
Yeah.
And how are they going to handle that?
Yeah.
And what will that feel like? Which is a strange thought. It's really weird. I'll be sitting around sipping tea or watching them play and I'm like, oh, so when I die, what's that going to be like?
It's too early for this, Lindsay.
No, it's not. It is
in
never.
The morning.
It is never too,
it's never too
early
to discuss death.
No.
I think about that too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't know if I can handle it right now.
It's funny. I am weirdly okay about the whole idea of dying at this point. I'm kind of like, I've done good stuff. I made 2 awesome kids. Like I'm really pretty pleased with the things that I've accomplished at this point in my life. Would I like to keep going? 100% yes. However, I'm not afraid of it anymore, I don't think.
Okay.
That being said, nobody's allowed to die before me. No.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. No. Dibs. Dibs. Which is funny because I've actually had this conversation with my husband. I'm like, by the way, I hope you know, I go first. This is the rule.
This is the rule.
Don't mess this up for me.
So if you see that light, run away from it. Don't go anywhere near it.
Come back.
Remember remember what you promised me.
Remember what you promised me. I think his response though has been I can't exactly promise that because I don't necessarily have control over this, but I'll try for you, babe. Better.
Yeah, I've actually done the same thing. I've actually called dibs on dying first too, and yeah, I've done the same thing to Sean, and he's just kind of like, okay, cool, okay, great.
Oh my goodness.
So,
it's so much easier though. I mean, I imagine. I've not died before, so
you know what? Me neither.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I imagine that it's like so much easier to not have to deal with all of the grief of somebody that you love so dearly dying.
Yeah.
Versus just being the one that's like, peace out, I'm done now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Here's all my memories. Bye.
Yeah. I'm out. I know. I thought about that too, and it is like because like I've had a couple people die now that have been close to me, and it's and I'm just kind of like, I don't feel sorry for them.
Nope. Because
they don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yep.
I have to deal with this now. Like, and without them, and I have to go through, like, I'm just not just me, like all these people now have to go through the pain of trying to try to figure out how to live without them in their lives. Like, yeah.
I love that it just came in real heavy and hard super early.
Yeah.
It's just talk about mortality and death at like 10:30 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. This is what I do. But this is the stuff that I love. Like I'm very much one of those people that likes to have the deeper conversations and the interesting things, which is why I was like, oh, let's do a show together.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that. So yes, Lindsay. Oh, by the way, I'm talking to Lindsay here.
Oh, surprise.
Surprise. I'm going to do an intro so people will know anyway.
Great.
And so Lindsay is a co-host of the podcast Momgasm. And I saw your live show.
Yeah, you saw the baby live. You saw the 20-minute hot and heavy that we did.
It was hot and heavy. Literally.
Yeah, we made some people walk out.
Actually? Yeah. I didn't notice people walking out.
There was a couple older individuals that had come in and were like, oh, no, and turned around and left, which was like, you're welcome.
We can say the words of what you did.
Oh, our strap-on situation. Yeah. So
they had strap-ons.
We had a 10-inch strap-on. That's what I was wearing.
It was very large.
It was large and in charge. Much like me. Felt like it was it was a good like embodiment of my personality in a penis.
There you go.
It was great.
It was very veiny.
It was, except for the veins. Like maybe not the veins.
Flesh toned.
It was
veiny and flesh toned.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun because it's now mine forever. And I don't know if you saw that I posted this, but my 4-year-old daughter found it.
No, I didn't see that.
She did. And it's funny because a lot of like with the podcast, which is all about like sensuality and pleasure and motherhood and just with my philosophy when it comes to all things sensuality and sexuality, like she's found toys before and it's not really a big deal. Like we kind of leave them out and around and so we can have casual conversations about them. But I don't have very many like phallic looking things, like nothing that
you look at it and you're like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. So that was like, it was the one thing that I was like, oh, this one I kind of want to maybe keep hidden because it could be a bit jarring or shocking.
Yep.
No, she found it. She found it. And it was honestly, it's probably one of my favorite conversations that we have ever had because her initial reaction was like, whoa, Mommy, is that a penis? I was like, well, yeah, baby. It is. Like, good job. She's like, whose is it? And I was like, well, it's mine. She's like, well, it's not a real penis, though, because real ones aren't that big. And so I responded and I was like, well, actually, they can come in lots of different shapes and sizes, just like bodies do. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then, like, that was it.
And that was it.
It was it. And then when Jeff came home that day, she's like, hey, Dad, do you know that Mom is a penis? He was like, yeah, I do. That was it. And it's, like, not come up in conversation again since. And she's just like, yeah, it's cool.
Because it's just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, amazing. You handled that so beautifully.
Thank you.
I think because there's so many different ways to handle that situation. And once you bring shame into it, then the kids are going to be like, oh, this is something I need to be ashamed about. Which,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm very much working on making that not happen in my household as well.
And I find like one of the areas that I personally slip into is I want to give too much information. Like, this is what it's for, and this is what you can do, and this is all of the things. And I'm like, no, just answer the question. You don't need to give more.
Right.
If they want more, they'll ask more.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good and fair.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday she's going to ask me what we use this for, which thankfully I can say, like, for live shows, babe. That one's not for... No, that one's not for play. Well,
oh.
Not in the sense that strap-ons are often used for play. Like, it's a... If you've listened to the show at all, I talk about it for a long time where I'm like, I've had this fantasy. I just want to wear like a big old dick and walk around the house and be like, yeah, I'm in my prime. Like, I got this. And so like that, I guess, is play in some sense, but it's not what many strap-ons are used for.
Right. That's not usually what they're... Well, I mean, who knows?
I'm sure they're used for many things.
They're probably used for so many things.
Oh my God. Which is, I love this. This is what I get to discover with what I do with my life these days.
It's amazing.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I've got some respect for what you're doing.
Oh, thanks. I got respect for what you're doing too. So.
Oh, thanks.
Freaking great.
Look at us.
Right?
Just look at us.
Oh,
nobody can actually do that. Mark, look at us. Right? Appreciate this. We'll look at each other too.
Bask in this glory.
Bask in this glory.
Oh.
Yeah. So wait, hold on. There was something that you said earlier that I want to go back to.
Okay.
You were talking about how death was something that was like, you should have died here and here and here.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Well, then I just like casually throw that out. I'm like,
I know, you're just like, hey, yeah, this is part of my, whatever. Nobody's going to be shocked by this.
No, I'm like, I'm supposed to be dead. What of it? What of it? Yeah, so I was born with a congenital heart defect.
Okay.
And it was like around the time when they couldn't, it was very rare for them to know beforehand. So nowadays they have a lot more technology. They can do all of the scans and they can usually figure out if there's going to be an issue or what that issue is. And then they'll have like pre-op ideas well before you're even born. Not the case when I was born. So they had no idea. I was born and then within 3 hours I turned completely blue.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was not ideal.
No.
So I was born with tetralogy of Fallot with pulmonary atresia. Essentially, I have 4 main defects. I'm like, help me fill in the blanks if I miss anything here. But essentially, I had a giant hole between my 2 main chambers.
Okay.
So ventral septal defect, and then my aorta is slightly displaced. Like it's not where it should be. It's not where it belongs. And then there was left wall hypertension because it's working so hard to try and get all of the poorly oxygenated blood where it needs to go. And then I had a few valves missing as well. And then my pulmonary arteries were the size of a hair when I was born. So they've had to reconstruct them twice.
Oh my gosh, twice.
Yeah.
When was that? When did they do the reconstructing?
So my first surgery, and again, like their approach to the way that they do surgery now is a lot better. So back then when I was born, the kind of protocol was within, I was 3 months old for my first surgery where they went and they put in a shunt. So they put in a shunt and then hold on, I'm lying. 3 days old was my first surgery. 3 months old was my first open heart surgery.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had another one, I think within my first year. And then I had a third one, I think around the time that I was like 4.5, 5. And then my last surgery, I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many, do you remember the one from when you were 4.5 or 5?
I don't. And I've recently, this is kind of like why I have a plethora of things that we could have talked about.
Right.
But one of the reasons that this was on my mind is because recently I went through and I dug out all of my mom's old journals.
Oh.
So she wrote journals to me while we were going through the process. I was going back and I was looking at my mom's journals because I couldn't remember the open heart surgery from when I was a kid. And I was like, I feel like I should be able to remember. And I wanted to know what age I was because I was curious if I had dissociated and kind of just like blocked it from my brain because trauma.
Right.
And so I know the last entry that's in the journal, I was just turning 4, and she's talking about how kind of a lot of like, I'm at peace with the fact that you might not make it to your 5th birthday and all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
And then she's talking about how we know that you have another surgery coming up. And we're so happy that you made it to 4. It's looking like it's probably going to be in the next like 6 months or so. So I know it was sometime around like 4.5 to 5-ish. I haven't asked. I don't know why I haven't asked my parents this. But I think for them too, a lot of it's a little bit gray area at this point because it's when you're in it, you're in it. Like you can't always be 100% present.
Yeah.
And again, it's like one of those things where you're in survival mode. Like you're doing what you need to do to just get through it and get to the next thing and get to the next day. And it's been really interesting to kind of actively work on reflecting back and seeing if I can kind of bring some of those memories back and like heal some of the trauma that I've experienced.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But what's really interesting is I'm not done with surgeries. Like I'll need more at some point.
So why?
So one of the things that they did, so when I was 18, they put in a valve, and it's a partially mechanical, part pig valve. So we've got a little like hybrid situation going on, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
But valves are only good for anywhere from 8 to 10 years, but I'm going on like 12 years right now.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
So fuck, I hope it still keeps going because I really don't want to do that again. Yeah. So at some point, I will have to get like ripped open again.
Oh my gosh.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I think this is part of the reason that it's been like fresh on my mind lately, because it's now the shifting in conversation of it's not just me anymore. Like, yes, my parents were involved with everything up until that point, but it's no longer just affecting me because I now have kids.
Yeah.
I now have kids. I now have a husband. Mm-hmm. And what is that going to be like for not only me in having these other people in my sphere to not necessarily worry about, but to think about?
Yeah.
And then what is the experience going to be like for them? And how can I, whenever the time comes, make it not so traumatic for them? And so they are informed rather than like, oh, this is just going to happen. Right?
Right. So then do your kids know about it right now?
Yes and no. I don't they don't really know much about my history. They know that I've had surgeries. They know that I've had, that I've got a special heart, which we call it. Oh. Because my daughter was actually born with a hole in her heart.
Oh,
which is
whoa.
pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
So what's really funny though is we knew it was a possibility with any kids that I would have because it is a genetic hereditary thing, or they think. They're like, we're not entirely sure, but trend seems to happen.
Okay.
And so they didn't catch it on any ultrasounds with either of the kids. But when my first was born, she had a murmur. And what's really funny is I could tell that something was up because they were kind of like whispering amongst themselves and they had this like air of concern about them.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, what's up? What's going on? They're like, well, we don't want to alarm you, but we really need to let you know that like we're hearing a murmur. I was like, oh, is that it? Oh, we're cool.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, and then they were like,
well, that's when they were like, oh, right, you have a history of all of this stuff. So you're like, this is new for you.
And,
this is.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, yeah. So the part of that scariness is kind of like the mystery is not there.
I was like, oh, that's it. We're good. That's fine. I was like, she might never need anything for that. Like she could go on and live a happy life and never need any sort of operation or anything. She just gets monitored every couple of years, which is.
And that's the case?
Cool. Yeah. That's so far so good.
So far so good.
Oh, God, what?
And she's 4. Is that right? Is
Yeah.
she 4?
So she's 4.5 now, which is
4.5.
pretty wild. And she's like, you would never know. Like, it doesn't affect her in any way, shape, or form. She's totally asymptomatic, other than her heart sounds super squishy and cool.
Cool. Squishy heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was young, a lot of the times that I had like almost passed away, originally the initial prognosis, they were like, she might not live until she might not make it through the year, but it would be optimistic to think that she would live past 3. And
Wow.
still here, going on 30.
And you're just like,
No, I am 30. I am 30.
You are.
I have been 30 since April. I'm gone. Yeah, it's so strange to think that my first 8 months of my life I was in the hospital. Like, I didn't go home for 8 months.
You didn't go home for 8 months.
Yeah.
I bet there's so many psychological studies that could be done on this / have been done on this.
I don't know if they have been, but I'm sure they could be and probably should be.
Probably
Like,
look into that a little.
How messed up is Lindsay?
I love the laugh.
Right?
Like, oh, whatever.
Adds character.
Yep. That's such a great way of putting it.
Well, it does.
Lots of character.
Oh, yeah.
How does heart stuff tie into mental health?
Well, whole lot of trauma involved in, the whole medical system, at least in my experience, there's a real lack of consent, which is a big problem.
What do you mean?
When you're a kid in the hospital, nobody's asking you. They're asking your parents. They're talking to I didn't know. I was so disconnected from everything because nobody was talking to me or asking me or checking in with me if I wanted to know more or anything like that. It was just, we're going to touch her now. We're going to do this to her now. We have to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a real lack of consent and autonomy in that environment and situation, which causes a whole lot of brain problems. brain problems.
Yeah.
Just stories that around I don't have the right to say yes or no to something. It's not on me.
How does that play into your life now?
Less so now.
Okay.
There's a lot of reprogramming that had to happen.
Yeah.
But for a really long time, two of my big stories that I had were I'm broken. I'm broken and therefore I'm not worthy.
Right.
And a real habit of kind of disassociating from my condition and only using it as a crutch to not do something. I was like, there's no point in doing something or dreaming about things because I'm probably gonna fucking die anyway. Right. And then leaning on it and saying, oh, well, I can't do that because I have this if something was hard. So it was this weird cop out where it's it doesn't exist. And then it does just to keep me small because I just didn't have that worth piece. Oh. And then a lot of living that I can't narrative. I can't do this because I have this. I can't do this because I'm not worthy of this. I can't do this because I'm going to die anyway. So what's the point?
Right.
And that lack of knowing how to voice what I want or recognizing that I have a choice in my life or that I have an active role in my life, no matter how long it is. So that was kind of what I was living with for a really long time, probably until I was 18 is kind of when it started to shift, probably post surgery, post my last surgery. I was in a really, really horrible place. And I started to recognize that my lack of self-worth and my lack of identity was, and allowing my condition to define me and that be my only, I'm just the chick with the heart problem. I'm just the broken girl who can't provide any worth to anyone. That was putting me in some terrible situations. I was a people pleaser. Oh my God. Such a people pleaser when it came to anyone that I felt I valued, not to my parents as the black sheep of the family there, because I'm like, rebel against everything. Still doing that real hard.
You don't say.
Dad was a minister for years, and now I have a sex podcast. So
whoa,
you know.
Okay. So now we're gonna mark that.
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that. We're going back to that.
Put a pin in that. So I realized there was a pivotal point in my life. There was a few moments where I was in a really sticky situation, and I was kind of met with the opportunity to evaluate my life choices up to that point, and how it was serving me. And so one for me that was like a glaringly obvious one for me was my best friend at the time. It's terrible. Best friend at the time was seeing this person, and I think we were like 19, fresh 19, and like going to the clubs, drinking our faces off, doing the thing you do that you probably shouldn't do when you have a heart condition, but that's super cool.
That's neither here nor there.
Super cool. But there was this night where she wanted to go out. We had gone out the night before, and I was like, I don't have money. I don't really want to go. And it's like my intuition was very like, don't go. This is a bad idea. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And I kind of like shoved that down because I got the whole like, oh, but please, like it's going to be fun. And I was very much like, I'll do anything for you. I like just need your... Yeah.
I can so relate to that.
Well, I bow to you. Like, just not a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
I now know.
Right, yeah.
I now know.
Now know.
But anyway, we went and we met up with this guy, and she was like, oh, he's going to pay for us to get in. It's going to be great. And I'm like, oh, I'm still not feeling like this is a great idea, but whatever, let's go.
Yeah.
So I went, and immediately he tried to like pimp me off to one of his friends. He was like, this is so-and-so. He's going to be like taking care of you all night.
Oh,
to which I was like, that's a hard no.
Okay.
It's a hard no.
Okay.
And then we were at this club, and I thankfully I ran into some like other people that I knew who were like quality humans, and I kind of just went back and forth between like the train wreck situation that I had been invited to, and then like the people that I was like, you're safe, help me. Anyway, eventually the people that I knew that I was kind of cozying up to because I didn't feel safe with the other crew.
Yeah.
They were leaving, and I didn't know where my friend was. Turns out she was like doing coke in the bathroom. Great time.
Wow.
And so I didn't know where she was, and I was like, I don't want to leave. Like, I don't want to leave her. I can't get a hold of her. Even though I would feel so safe, like getting in this van and going home with you guys, I'm going to stay because I don't want to leave.
Oh no.
So she then left me at the club.
No! See, that makes me angry.
I was pretty...
What?
I was pretty mad about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I ended up going to this stranger's house, and it was not good.
No.
It was not good. So I like in the morning, and this was the point where like my husband and I were on a break. We weren't together. We weren't married at this point. I was not married at 19.
I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Or not.
No. Actually, no. It was awesome. It turned out to be a good decision.
I'm glad.
Who would have thought?
I'm glad. Yeah, so I like in the morning at like 5 a.m. I like, because I didn't sleep all night, and I was like, I'm not safe. Like roll out of the stranger's bed. I like get home. No, I didn't get home. I like went to walk to where I used to work. So I used to work at Perks on the waterfront. So I walked to like the bus terminal there, and I was like sitting on the bus like crying, like I don't know what to call, I don't know what to do. Because I was like, I can't call my parents because they'll kill me.
Yeah.
They'll murder me.
Yeah.
This pastor daddy would be pretty pissed.
Right.
Except for my mom that's like strikes the fear of God in me.
Okay.
Still.
Wow. Okay.
But I was sitting on the bus stop, and I'm like, who do I call? What do I do? And Jeff and I were on a break at this point, and I was like, Jeff is safe. I'm going to call Jeff. So I called Jeff. And that was like, it was the thing that kind of brought us back together, because it was a great opportunity to like, oh, this is somebody in my life who actually values me and sees me and will like love me in all of my messiness. Because we actually met in like the epitome of messiness, where I was like 1 month fresh from open heart surgery, drunk and high at a party. Man, I was a very low point in my life. I was in the like, everything is terrible. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just make a mess of it. I'm going to go out hard and fast.
Yeah.
And so he took me home and he took care of me. And he was like, you need to make some life choices because friends don't do this crap. And I was like, maybe you're right. And then I started to change. I had to sit down and go like, well, what have I been doing? And what have I been believing that has contributed to all of these choices and all of these scenarios in my life that keep happening? And why am I not listening to myself and my intuition? And why am I not choosing things that complement my value? Because I do have value. And at that point I was like, I don't know what my value is. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know how much life I have.
Right.
But this is not serving me in any way. And it's just causing more pain. So what do I do to shift this?
Wow. Okay. So then what happened with this friend?
Oh God, I've never spoken to her again.
That was it.
I foolishly apologized to her.
What did you feel the need to apologize for?
Do when you're
Well, no, I get
right?
it. I've done the same. Like I didn't get left in a club by my friend who was doing cocaine in the bathroom when I was trying to leave. But
you mean that doesn't happen to everyone?
I don't think so, but what do I know?
Right.
So, however, I've been in situations where I was the one who got like really betrayed or abused or whatever, and then come back and been like, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. So there's no judgment coming from here for you apologizing to her. So continue.
So I think and again, like that was way back. I apologized and said like, I think it was because I was talking to somebody when she finally decided that she wanted to leave or something. And that's why she had left without me.
That was her reason.
Yeah. I think somebody had just bought me a drink and I felt bad just being like, oh, I'm going to down it and leave. Like, but why?
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, sorry, I didn't leave when you asked to leave. Like, I don't know what happened, but I didn't get home. This is what happened. Super not cool. Not sure where to go from here. And then I think, and again, like we've not really had a conversation about this since, but she then went on to like spread a rumor that I had stolen her pot and was like selling her pot out from under her, which I was like, at this point in my life, didn't use cannabis. I think I like smoked maybe 10 times in my entire life at this point. And so it was just weird. But for me, I'm pretty sure that was, she felt guilty and just didn't want to deal with it. So she was like, let's just make it go away.
Right. Let's just make you the bad guy so that I can feel better about what I did.
Exactly. And so when that came out, I was like, well, I'm done because this is not serving me. This is not helpful. And clearly you're not going to take any sort of ownership over anything, and I'm just not interested in continuing this relationship anymore because I now recognize that I deserve more than that.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and I haven't really spoken to her since. She had tried to reach out to me. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago now. She's like, oh, we both have kids now and whatever. And in the message that I got, like there was no. The one thing that she said was, oh, I was sitting back and thinking the other day, if there was ever anyone that I went through a whole lot of stuff with back in like high school days, it was Lindsay. And it almost felt like this, and again, this is obviously filtered through like my stories and my trauma and like my existence. But for me, it felt very like, oh, I still feel bad about that thing, but let's like kind of put a blanket over it where it's like, oh, but it's all cool because we were kids.
Right.
And I was like, no, like if you're, I think I responded, I was like, great to hear that you're doing well. I'm really happy for you because I am genuinely happy when I find out that people are doing well for themselves and like are having great lives. And it's like, but honestly, at this point, like I'm not okay with how our relationship went. Yeah. And I am not really interested in continuing a relationship with you right now. Like I wish you well, good for you, but not having it.
I feel like that's so healthy. That's such a healthy response because it's like respectful, you know, like, and a genuine gladness for how they're doing. Like you, of course, like you do want to see people do well. And then, being like, but like I know myself and I know that I'm not ready for this. And like, this is, they're just problems that I just see here that aren't okay. So
Yeah.
That's amazing. I have a lot of respect for that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you for sharing it with me. Holy crap.
Yeah. It was really weird though, because I think it was like a year maybe after that, we were driving somewhere and I saw her on the corner. I had like a full on like panic attack. I was like,
Oh my
and it was one of those like, oh, I thought I was over this. I guess I'm not. I should probably do some healing work on this. Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. So then I want to go back to what you said about your father. Minister daddy.
He was a minister for so much of my life. He was also a serial entrepreneur though, which is really interesting.
Okay. All right. So first of all, when did each thing happen? Is he currently a minister?
No. So he's a real estate agent now.
I mean, cool. Okay. Yep. Okay. No, I'm not going to say anything. You go.
That's fair. So in my lifetime, he has, actually even before me, he's been a teacher. Okay. He's owned a tanning salon briefly. So he had a tanning spot. He has, I think, had a jewelry store. Yeah, he's had a jewelry store. He has had, and then he did the minister life for a while. He was technically a church planter. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you go in and you start the party.
You start it going.
Start the party.
Right? Turn that water into wine.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We started at Dalhousie in like one of their little pubs that they have on campus. So that's where our church started, in a bar, which I was like, our church is in a bar.
It's so cool.
I was like, we're a cool church.
Yeah. How old were you when that happened?
I want to say I was maybe like between 12 and 14, somewhere.
So they didn't check your ID before going to church.
Well, it was in the middle of the day, so
I guess that's fine. All right, cool.
Didn't matter.
Okay.
We weren't drinking at the pub while going to church. I kind of wish we were, because that would be really interesting.
Right?
That
Be
could
like
be fun.
going. That actually.
I'll
Mark,
go to
write it down. This is what we're doing now.
Church of Optimistically Depressed.
Come in, grab your drink of choice.
Oh yes.
Slam it back, and let's hear about Jesus.
I would go to that church.
I would too. I would be there.
I would be here for it. Yeah, so he started a church called the Agora, and it was like this cool church for a really long time. It was like where a lot of students in the city would go, and he did that for a really, really long time. And then he also had a bike business. He started a bike business called Cult Bikes. Just like, Dad, what? What? Are we trying to be edgy? Like, what's happening here? I don't really understand.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so he started a business called Cult Bikes.
All right.
Closed the church down.
Okay.
I want to say it was like around for at least a decade.
Oh, okay.
And then closed it down, and now he went back to school for real estate at like 60.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he's now a real estate agent, which is really cool. So that's why I'm like, people are like, you do so many things. I'm like, well, have you met my dad?
Right. Well, yeah. It's like this kind of in the family.
Yeah. No.
That's cool. That's cool. He's not settling. He's,
Did I say he was a teacher? Yeah, I said that. He
was
a teacher.
What did he teach?
I don't remember.
That's fine.
This was before my time.
Okay.
So like when he also built our house.
Oh my gosh.
He's a man of many talents.
Seriously?
Yeah. So there was like a group of them, and they built these super cute little townhouses that my parents still live in now.
I really love that. My parents built the house that we lived in like when we were kids. Aww. And it always made me be like, I want to build my house when I grow up.
But do we really?
I don't want to.
I want
somebody else to build it for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Although actually I actually kind of like the carpentry stuff. Like my brother is really handy, and so when he used to live here, we used to do projects on the house, and so like we've just like little things, like we retiled the kitchen, so we smashed all the tiles out and took them all out and then put new tiles in, and did like he basically made a clothes hook, like nice little setup in the shelf and everything in our entrance for the entryway. And I helped him a little bit with that. And I just, I like that kind of stuff. I do.
See, it's funny. I like the idea of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't actually like doing it.
You don't actually like doing it?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not the DIY mom.
No. And you know what's funny? Because I'm not either. But I think that if I had the time, I might actually enjoy it quite a bit. Because whenever I've done projects around the house, like house projects, I'm not really into crafting and that kind of thing.
Forget crafting.
I hate it with everything that's in me.
It's not for me.
Yeah. But when it comes to like, projects around the house, I like to do that. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm slow. I'm not especially efficient at it, but I enjoy it and I do it. So it's good.
It's fair. I took us a year and a half to hang blinds, so I'm definitely not that person.
Yeah.
Also, we still have garbage bags up for in lieu of curtains for our 4-year-old's room.
Oh, see, that you're speaking to my soul right now. I love that. I tried hanging curtains back up in our dining room, and they fell down again, and they're just not up.
That's
now.
fair.
That's done.
That's totally
because
fair.
part of it is like I got to be taught. Right? I don't know these. My brother didn't teach me how to hang curtains.
And this is the thing. It's funny. I say that I don't like doing stuff, but I actually am pretty handy, and I do like getting stuff done. I like small projects, but for me, I have to be able to finish when I've started. Like
okay. Kids, that's good.
Kids go away. People leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, let's get
let's
it
do
done.
it. Yeah.
Otherwise,
I know. Yeah. I know. And then you just get driven insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're currently hey, we're in our new studio, brand new views, new studio.
It's pretty cool.
And we're in the middle of painting it. And I'm looking at it and I'm just kind of like, we've got to make this happen. It's driving me crazy. But we just started yesterday. It's fine.
Well, then
we've only got so much time.
It's looking great for just yesterday.
Thanks.
It's smelling great too.
Right? That's amazing. It's amazing. Mark picked out the candle that's here.
I like the candle.
I like it too. I don't know what the scent is, but
you're gonna burn yourself if you're. That was very.
That
close.
was so close. I almost just spilled candle wax all over myself. I used to play with candle wax.
Same.
Yeah. You dip your finger in it.
Yes. Or I would like pour it on my body because that's something that you do.
That just took such a turn.
Did it though? Do we know what my podcast is?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
You mean you're not into candle play, Ruth?
No.
But sounds like you might be.
Thinking maybe I will be. Yeah.
You can get but then this is funny. I'm speaking about this like I do this on a regular basis, but I don't.
Okay.
You can actually buy like specialty candles for candle play that melt at a lower burning point.
Okay, that would be nice then.
Yeah, so it's not like burning the crap out of you. But when I was a kid, I used to like dip my finger in the wax and then peel it off.
Yeah.
And then do it again.
Yeah.
And then peel it off and see like how thick I can make the layer.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I had different colored candles, I would like...
Yes, you'd layer it. Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then I would also like... Again, I had weird things. I would also like drip it on my skin and see what it felt like. And I would do like different heights to change the temperature of like the wax hitting my skin.
Oh, that's actually like... So you like to experiment.
I do.
Did it splash a lot when you did it from higher up?
A little bit, but not much. And I would I didn't care if there was like wax all over my bedding.
Who cares about that?
It's like 14. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Like, whatever. My mom will wash it.
Mom will wash it. It's fine. I don't think wax comes out of things.
I don't care. It's fine. You can't actually. That's not
okay,
true.
Cool.
You can use an iron.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Iron and wax paper. And
that's right. Yes. Yeah, I heard about that. I got rid of my iron a long time ago. I don't do that.
Really? We just bought one.
Really? I don't have time for it. I don't care. The clothes will unwrinkle itself on my skin.
This is also my approach. The only reason we have one is because my husband works in a corporate job. And
he's got
to get his shit together.
He's got to make it look like he's got it together.
Right? So people will give him all of the money. That's
right. Iron shirts do make money.
They do.
Yeah.
Also, wrinkled shirts can make money too if you're like
it's meant to be
podcaster.
Wrinkly. Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, my shirt is also very wrinkly. I've got
I wouldn't even
fur on it.
I don't even notice.
I don't either.
Yeah. My mom. Go.
I only notice, again, if it's like, if you're wearing a nice suit and it's wrinkled to hell.
Then you're like, okay, that's not how that's supposed to be. But everything else, it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I know.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I would never. My mom was visiting and she's like, where's your iron? Like, I'm going to iron these things. And I was just like, what?
Like straightening
Why would
iron?
you iron that? Yeah, I was like, you want to do your hair? I don't really understand what you're talking about right now. It was so confusing and weird. And it resulted in a lot of passive aggressive comments, which was hilarious. I love you, Mom. She doesn't listen to this.
My mom is also big on the passive aggressive
Yeah.
digs. And sometimes not very passive aggressive. Sometimes very direct digs too.
Oh, that's fun.
It's about no. It's not fun.
No, it's not fun. Yeah.
Although, I mean, I have to say our relationship compared to what it was is like night and day difference.
Amazing.
It's a lot better.
Oh, good.
Boundaries are very important.
As it turns out, yeah, I have a hard time with boundaries with close people because I'm just kind of like, well, I love you. So obviously no boundaries.
I'm really good. I think this is one of the things that's been really great with my mom and I mean, especially like with my dad having been a minister and what I do now.
Yeah.
Which is very...
yeah, so, and how does
not
that...
within their sphere.
Yeah.
How does that work? Is that what we were going to ask?
Yeah, but you answer that or say what you were saying before and then we'll go to that question.
Essentially, it's going to answer the question for you.
Perfect.
Boundaries is how it works.
Okay.
Right? So as much as I would love to be able to share everything that I'm doing explicitly with my parents, I recognize that we have different values and different belief systems. And why would I share something with them if I know it's going to trigger them? Right? Like, it's not worth it for me. And so I just keep details very, very limited in what we do. And we kind of just talk about the podcast as the podcast. And it's not a topic of conversation that comes up a lot. So I usually will only inform them if there's something big that happens. Like when we did the show together for Pop Explosion and when like we have a new show coming up. And
I saw that too.
It's very exciting.
That is so cool.
March 6th. I'm really pumped about it.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'll tell them details like that. And like when we won the pitch competition, I told them about that, but I'm not like, today we talked about sex toys and putting things in your bum. Okay. That's
just keep that
exactly
in your back pocket. Wah, wah.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. Mark, I said I don't want sound effects.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
If you leave that sound effect in, I want to make sure that you have to leave in the part where I say that I don't want sound effects. Oh my God,
but it was so well. It was so perfectly placed and timed.
Damn it.
My face now hurts from smiling. It's
delightful. Look at that. Mark made your face hurt.
Oh, you did.
Don't. Mark! No sound effects!
Oh my God. That's actually amazing. That's so good. So good. But yeah, boundaries are really important. And I mean, especially as somebody who could be dubbed like a hashtag oversharer, it's hard. Like it's definitely hard to not be able to share that part of me. And sometimes it feels like, oh, like I have to hide part of who I am from the people that I love, which is a little shitty.
Yeah.
But again, I would rather have a cohesive, loving relationship with them than having like a meltdown every single time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that I feel like you and I are quite similar with that kind of stuff. Because I feel like I should be able to share all these things with the people that I love. But no, it's just having respect for what other people are okay with and what they're not okay with. And
different strokes for different folks.
Right? Different stripes for different types.
Yes!
That's awesome. I have some friends that I'm close with who have been practicing boundaries with me. And it's been really good for our relationship.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's often really hard and awkward in the beginning.
Yeah.
And also the other thing that I especially have had to implement with like my mom and with the in-law situation, like especially when it comes to the kids and like what we're okay with being talked about when the kids are around versus not.
Right.
Boundaries often have to have consequences or nobody's going to follow through on the boundary.
Yeah.
Right. So for a while we had to do that like anytime my mom would like start chewing in on me, we would just get up and leave. We'd just leave. We're like, nope, we're not going to stay here for that. Bye.
That is so amazing.
And what's great though is like if you follow through on the consequence, like they start to recognize, oh, you're no longer going to put up with this behavior anymore.
Yeah.
And if I love you and I value and I want you in my space, I have to shift accordingly so that I can spend time with you and I can spend time with your kids and all of that stuff. And it happens a lot quicker if you're pretty firm on like boundary. This is what happens if it's crossed.
Yeah. That would be so difficult, and I have so much respect for the fact that you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we have like a pretty amicable relationship where we didn't for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult when the dynamics of your relationship, like with your parents, like when they do start to shift, when you start to be like when you start to just realize that you're not okay with everything that they do, and you're not okay with all the ways that they treat you. And then you have to like try to all of a sudden take the reins and be like, no, like don't do that. And yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Cause it's so scary. And for me, like I have such a fear of like, well, now I'm going to lose love.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. But then on the other side, I'm like, is this actually love that I'm receiving right now?
I know. It's like, well, what am I getting right now? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard. It is so hard. And it feels very isolating when you're starting to implement boundaries initially. And the other thing that, what did you say? I had some piece of genius that I was going to add onto it. Now I think it's gone out of my brain.
Sorry.
Ugh, that's okay. Don't apologize. I'm just like, where did you go?
See, I'm doing the thing that we were just talking about before. When you apologize when it's not necessary.
Right. It's fine. Oh my God. Everybody does that though. It is something that I'm actively like working on removing though.
Yeah.
And thanking people instead of apologizing. So if you're late.
Yes.
I'm sorry I'm late goes to thank you for being so patient or thank you for waiting for me.
Oh, I like that.
It's great.
Ooh, I'm going to be working on that.
Yeah, it's a really great one.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden it keeps you like it's respectful still, but it still kind of keeps you in charge of the situation.
Exactly. We're like, thanks for your understanding. If you have like a misunderstanding or something or a disagreement, like I'm so sorry I upset you, or my brain is now running out of.
No, that's good.
Tangible options.
It's because you covered it.
Yeah.
So your brain's like, no, you don't need any more of this. We're good.
Check mark. We did that.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great little swap.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Especially if I like, and this is so stereotypical of me to say, but like, especially as Canadians, we say sorry a lot.
I was gonna bring up the Canadian thing. So
we say sorry a lot.
We do.
Like excessively.
We are excessive sorriers.
Yeah, especially, again, stereotyping and generalizing. I find women are big for saying sorry for everything. Sorry for existing. Like,
yeah, I'm so sorry to inconvenience you with my having an opinion on something. And
right.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that last night because our washer and dryer broke recently.
No.
Yep. So then Sean went out and got it and got a new ones yesterday.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. And so when I got home, I started doing laundry and then Sean just took over. And he usually does laundry. I'm not.
That's nice.
It's great. I hate laundry so much.
It's not my favorite.
No. And anyway, so I was thinking okay, I'm going to thank you so much. And like, I should have been doing that and whatever. And then all of a sudden it was kind of like, no, like we're both working really hard at a whole bunch of things and he's carrying his part. And I know that that's how he thinks about it. But it's something that I just kind of am like, well, I should be taking care of all this stuff. And there was another thing, this is like small, but like, so we have a small dog. His name is Picard. Yeah. Cute. And I know he's the best. And usually he sleeps on my side. So I'm like sleeping with my legs around him and trying, right? And I'm just used to it. It's great. I love it. Last night.
I'm just like throat gurgling like crazy. It's going to sound so great.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
You're welcome to all of those ears out there. Can you do it one more time?
There you go. Sorry. Thank you for letting me interrupt with my awkward throat gurgling.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Continue.
So Picard last night was on Sean's side of the bed. So Sean had his legs awkwardly around Picard. And then I was actually laying with my legs like across Sean's legs too. And then I was just like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? I'm being so intrusive. And so I was like moving my legs away. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. This is how things are for me all the time. Picard is always laying between my legs, and then Sean is shoving his feet right in, and I'm always overlapping him when I'm trying to just lay on my side of the bed. And so it was kind of like, he doesn't apologize for that. I'm not going to apologize or feel bad for this. Like, it's all coming around.
Oh my goodness.
And I now have all this space on my side of the bed, and I'm going to take some of your space too.
I love it. Just like
not apologize.
Own your space.
Own my
Own
space
it.
and your space.
It's acceptable.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a give and take relationship.
Exactly. And he wasn't complaining.
It's great. I'd be like, yay, snuggles.
Right? Snuggles are great.
Snuggles are my favorite. Except for when I actually want to sleep, and then I'm like, please don't touch me.
Yeah. That's how I get too.
I'm like, you're breathing in my ear. Get off.
Yeah. I can't have any I can't have anyone breathing on me. If I'm laying on my side facing Sean and then he turns around and faces me and like kind of puts his hand on me, I'm just like, get out of my face. I turn around. I'm just like, you can't. Don't. Just leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep now.
We definitely do like the big spoon, little spoon situation until it's bedtime. And then I'm like, okay, tuck and roll, bud.
Apparently, Sean has said that in the night, if I'm sleeping and he tries to snuggle with me at all, I will grab his hand and like aggressively throw it back at him in my sleep.
You're just setting your boundary, clear boundary there.
Yeah. In my sleep, I am so good at setting boundaries. Do not touch me. Although once
Subconscious Ruth has got it down.
Got it down. Although I once had a sleepover with my sister-in-law and she said she woke up in the night to me playing with her head in my sleep. So
oh my God.
I am very aggressive and everywhere in my sleep.
Awesome. I like me a little aggression. Aggression is great. It's entertaining as hell.
Yeah. So
that's fun.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's good.
I think that's good.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. It's a wrap. You got enough of my nonsense?
Yeah. But I do feel like I feel like we've just covered the surface. Right. And there are so many things that we could just
my God, so many things.
Yeah.
I feel like we could talk for 1,000 hours.
I do believe that is true.
1,000 hours.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
No more, no less.
No.
Yeah.
Once we hit that 1,000 point, you cut it off.
That's it.
Cut it off.
Shut it down.
Yeah. And throw the table just because that'd be funny.
I feel like of the three of us, I would be the one to throw the table.
Yes, you would be.
I'm the...
Yeah, you would be. That's your role.
To me.
Yeah, I like that. You're just like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're done here. Yeah, I'm like, okay, move these first. Then, because I value equipment.
That's nice. Right? That's very nice.
I know how much these things cost.
So people can be safe around your aggression.
Yeah. Get it out.
Yeah.
But don't be taking it out on me. Here's a pillow. Here's your bed. Kick things, like throw stuffies. Get your feelings out, but don't you send that at me.
Right. Yeah. That's really smart.
It's great.
Yeah.
I also use that technique. If I
love the pillow scream.
If I'm having a really stressful mom day, I will definitely duck into my room. Or if like our cat just passed away like last week, which sucks.
I'm sorry.
I've been having a lot of like big feelings, and I've definitely like got into my room a few times in the last week and just like cried aggressively into a pillow or like screamed into my pillow, and it's like feels so much better to like release and actually like fully embody an emotion versus I'm gonna try and save this for later.
Yes.
That's not helpful.
No, it's not helpful. It's something that I do, and I'm working on sorting it all out because I feel emotions in a very big way.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So I keep it like, so then I basically just shut down.
Yep.
And then I'm like, because I'm going to get into that later, but then it just gets just...
I also can't function when I start to shut down.
Me neither.
Like
That's what started to happen to me this morning.
Yeah.
Because everything was just overwhelming. And I was like, I have like 8 things I have to do right now. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do that.
It's like when you have 1,000 pop-ups open on
Oh my
like your
gosh.
operating system and you just start like aggressively closing windows and you somehow accidentally like close the operating system itself and you're like,
no.
I don't doing anymore, but I'm just gonna keep like trying to move forward, and then I lose like the ability to form proper sentences or like function as a contributing member of society.
Yep.
It's not cute. It's not cute.
No, there were a couple points this morning where I caught myself standing in my bedroom being like, do what? Like, what am I? And then having to just be like, Ruth, just think about the next thing you have to do. Just do that.
Yeah. Those are good moments for me where I'm kind of like, okay, feel your feet. Take a breath.
Oh, feel your feet.
Know where you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And then, okay, what's next?
Okay. Ooh, I like that.
Right?
I'm going to be doing that today because I have a few
it.
things to do today.
Try it.
Yeah. Okay.
Try it out. Let me know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you. This is super fun.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
And everybody listening, check out Lindsay's podcast that she co-hosts, Momgasm.
Momgasm podcast.
They talk about important stuff.
We do. And it's like, as much fun and laughter and shenanigans as we have, like all of the laughter and shenanigans are there to make the conversations easier for people.
Yes.
Sex is one of those things that like carries so much shame, and our goal is to like release that shame and
that's
take it
so
away.
important. I love it. I love it. I have so much respect for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And every time I see like your stuff coming up on Instagram and stuff, I love the way that you use fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all those juicy, vibrant colors and
exactly. Love it.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. And we've got like some really big, exciting things coming in the new year, which is going to be wild.
Perfect. Good. Enough said. Wild.
Yeah. Pretty sure I also could have been like a voiceover person at some point in my life.
I think, you know what? There's still time.
I know. I'm like podcasting close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
That's good. Maybe we could record, Mark, can we record that and add that to our sound effects?
Oh my God. That would be hilarious. I'll just be like a permanent, I will just make sound effects boards for people.
Yes!
That would be really fun.
I want the wild one. Wild. I want that one. I would let that sound effect in on my podcast.
Just like, that's wild.
Yes.
Here all week.
That's great. Okay, I'm taking it. Until we get that on our board, I'm gonna have you sit in with a third mic on all of my podcasts.
Perfect. Oh my God, that would be friggin' hilarious. Or just like, if you do another live show, I'll just like pop myself up. I'll be in the corner like, oh, that's wild.
Yes. Yes. Okay, good. We got that sorted out. That was amazing. Everybody check out what's going on, Momgasm. And thanks for listening. I love all of you, and we'll be talking to you again soon.